Day one, we met our driver who was going down the freeway, seriously about 160 k's in this Honda van. It was super sketchy after our 11-hour super uncomfortable flight. But he did manage to get us to the train station about 20 minutes earlier than we were expecting. We had to figure out how to use the ticket machines and make it to Nagano, but we did get there eventually. Then it was a little bit too dark, so I didn't record anything. The next morning, this is what our hotel looked like. Pretty nice, pretty big and fancy. And then we started going off on our day one adventures. All right, day two, woke up, had a traditional Japanese breakfast at the hotel, and then we started walking around to check out the local sites. The closest one that we found was a place called Zenkoji Temple. All right, so I didn't record too much inside the temple itself because they have signs up which prohibit it. But Zenkoji Temple is popular for like a few reasons. But as a basic white tourist, the only thing that I really sort of picked up is that Zenkoji houses what is believed to be Japan's first image of Buddha. It's like a statue of Amida Buddha, also known as Iko Senzo Amida Nyorai, the original statue, hidden and never displayed, is considered to be so sacred that even the chief priests are not allowed to view it. There's an underground passageway that we followed, which leads like underneath the room where the statue is. It's completely pitch black. It's kind of hard to describe the experience, but they call it the key to paradise. It's like symbolic of a spiritual journey. I think that there was maybe 3 or 4 different temple or sites that we explored while we were in the area. You'll see those like in the later clips. All right, and then straight ahead, that's the building where we went and found the key to paradise. So that big building straight ahead is supposedly where the original Buddhist image or statue, where the OG of the Buddha world is housed in that building. All right, then we caught the train out to Matsumoto Castle, which is also called the Crow Castle because it's black on the outside. It's got a moat, which I think is like super defining characteristic of being a castle. So it's over 400 years old, makes it one of Japan's oldest surviving castles. Unlike a lot of the hilltop castles, it's built on flat land, which means it needs strong defenses like massive stone walls and the moat, which is now filled with koi fish. The castle stairs are super steep and narrow. Definitely not built for dudes like me. But it was just oh, it was so dangerous climbing up like 6 flights of these stairs. I think like the highest inclination of the stairs is something like 63 degrees. Because there were so many tourists in this castle, it was a super long line to get all the way to the top of the castle. Then when you're at the top, you turn around and you line up to start going back down. So it's like there's one way up and one way down onto each level, and then you can't fit 2 people up and down at the same time anyway. So it's a bit of a wait. All right, day three, we got the Honda Whip. Super exciting. It's my first time using my international driver's license, being on the roads in Japan, obviously in the most safe, impossible to speed car because I didn't realize people don't actually follow speed limits over there. But we had to hire this car. The big reason was so that we could get to the five shrine hike. So we parked down here at the bottom of like the first shrine. Then we hiked for what felt like 6 days by the end of it. But we hiked from the bottom of this mountain all the way to the fifth shrine. Super beautiful. Obviously, we've gone at like this perfect time of year where all the leaves are falling off. So if you're into like autumn foliage and all that kind of stuff, like wait until you see this footage up ahead. It's actually pretty crazy. As you can see here, there's like tons of leaves and everything just falling down as we're like hiking up this mountain. This is what pretty much 80% of the hike looks like. It's really nice.
Just up here on the left is a bear bell. Basically, if you were walking around or doing this walk, then there's a chance that you're going to come across a bear. We met a guy who swore that he had actually ran into a bear. So when you're walking around, you'll hear like little jingling all the time about, it's just like the random people have got their own personal bear bells. Like that's how concerned they are with it. We stopped and got some soba just at this place on the left. It's a little restaurant. It's not open right as we were walking past it here, but it has great reviews. And we got in there. The food was unreal, especially after we'd finished this like gigantic hike. When we got to the top, I seen some lady was touching the tree, so then I thought I'd try and give it a bit of a push as well. I couldn't push it down, but... What happened when we left that shrine, it started leading us down some crazy path. I feel like we went the right way, because we did eventually end up kind of in the right place. Then we got to this big nature park, I guess, and on the other side of this was the other shrine. But this was not where we were like trying to go. But it was still really nice to walk through there. Like the park was really well maintained and lots of signs telling you that there are black bears around. This is on the other side of that park that we've just walked through. I'm going to speed it up to be about 1,000% faster. Just take that into consideration when you see just how long... Like, you can't even see the end of where we're walking right now. You can't even see, like, the gate to the shrine. It's crazy how long this part here was. finally made it to the end of the 5 shrine hike. Shrines 4 and 5 are side by side at the end of this gigantic hike. The mountain roads in Japan are actually ridiculous. So if you look at that, it's about 9 really tight hairpin turns. And this little Honda car that we were driving did not like it at all, especially going the other way. It felt heaps better going downhill, but on the uphill, this thing was unreal. It couldn't accelerate past like 35 k's an hour. That wrapped up day 3. At the end of the night, we made it down to Karazawa, where we stayed at Welly's Hotel, but more of that in the next video.